So here's my setup for the baby axolotls. What I've done is I've just used different Pyrex dishes and put different amounts in each of them, trying not to overcrowd any one of these containers. What I'm going to do today is do a water change, show you kind of how I have gone about it. Again, this is my first time ever doing this. I'm not an expert on this. If you do have any advice for me, please leave a comment below, and I'd be happy to do something differently next time. But so far this has been working for me. I've had a very low death rate. Pretty much I lose an average of 5 per week. I haven't lost any in about 4 days, which is usually you lose, one or two a day or every other day. But anyhow, so today I'm going to do a water change and show you kind of how I do it, and if you think this is right or wrong, please let me know. Okay, so what I do in preparation is I always have 1 gallon of water that I do as soon as I'm finished with my water changes. I go and refill this pitcher so that the water is room temperature. I don't want to take the water straight from the tap and then put it in these dishes. I don't want to fluctuate the temperature in these dishes. I want to make sure that it's always room temperature. So I do this as soon as I'm finished with this water change. I'm going to go ahead and refill this and save it for the next water change. Typically I do 1 to 2 water changes a day depending on how much food I give them. Right now I'm feeding them baby brine shrimp. They're only eating live baby brine shrimp, so I do have to have a system in my kitchen right now where I'm constantly hatching baby brine shrimp and feeding them to the axolotls. So kind of my system of how I've been doing this: I use a turkey baster, and I use a net, and I use a bucket for all the water, as well as any dead baby axolotls will go in the bucket, and then I'll either feed it to my plants or dump it outside. So let's go ahead and get started in doing these water changes. Also, while I'm doing these changes, I want to make sure that I'm not sucking up any of these baby axolotls. I'm trying to suck up in an area where there is no axolotls. If there are any in, I simply put it back in and redo it. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start dumping them into one container. And I'm going to dump the final tray of axolotls. You really need to be careful when sucking these up. They do get caught in there quite often, and you do need to make special care not to suck up any of these baby axolotls. Okay, so now what I do is I go ahead and clean out all of the individual Pyrex dishes with a paper towel. I just wipe up anything, clean it out, and then refill it. Okay, so I've got these 4 cleaned. I've got all the axolotls in this one container. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the water in equal amounts. I'm going to use 1 gallon for all 5. So I'm going to put equal amounts in all these. When I'm finally done, I'm going to use the net and I'm going to scoop these out and put them in their containers. Empty this out completely, fill this back up, and then use the turkey baster to suck up axolotls from others and put them into this one. Okay, so now for the hardest part, scooping them up. I put the net in the other dishes so that if there are any left over that are stuck in the stitching, that I can get them out and save them as quickly as possible. Okay, so now this is completely empty. I'm just going to dump this water here. Use a paper towel, clean it out. And then I'm going to refill with my pitcher. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop up some of these axolotls from each dish and center them in here. Okay, so now that there's about equal amounts in each tray, I'm going to go ahead and refill this and let this sit and get to room temperature before the next time when I do another water change. So now that I have this refilled, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some of this AquaSafe into just a drip or two into the gallon and let it set until the next time. That's it. So this is my method of caring for baby axolotls, doing water changes and that. If you have any tips or advice for me, please leave a comment below.